Hello, Virgo. I have asked that each of you gets at least one message. I've also prayed over and shuffled my Lenormands and my Sibila. So those have been prayed over, shuffled, and they're ready for when we need them. So you guys can see that without too much glare. So what we have is we have your situation, which is partnerships and alliances. We have the recent past, which is material harvest. We have something that you are unaware of, which is rest and rejuvenation. And then we have recommendations. And for you, it is the angel of relaxation. Okay, so your situation, partnership and alliances, card number 3. And this would be a wand card in traditional tarot. And that's all about our willpower, our principles, our inspiration, what it is that inspires us, and also our aspirations. What do we aspire to achieve, obtain? And this is talking about seeing the fruits of our labor take seed, blossom, grow. It can also be talking about paying attention to synchronicities and signs that bring new opportunities to create something new, to create something different. I get that some of you are actually starting a partnership, a new alliance. And I get for many of you that this is it's like a business partnership. It's a relationship that's founded on money, because there's no cups in here. There's no emotion. There's no love. There's not that emotional connection. It's really partnerships, alliance. I mean, this is coins, swords, thoughts. I mean, it's really all about monetary money, making things happen, making business happen. But I get that you had a partnership, a relationship, an alliance. It fell apart. It ended because things were off balance. Because this card reminds us that partnerships, it doesn't matter if it's a romantic partnership, a business partnership, I mean, it can even be friendships. It reminds us that it has to be completely balanced. See, they're equally holding each other's arms. You've got the flags. It's kind of like a yin-yang. But it has to be in balance, because anytime with all partnerships, if you have one partner giving and the other person always taking, there's an even exchange. Things get out of balance. So if you're the partner that's constantly giving all the time, you will feel drained. You will. So if you're in a partnership or business partnership or whatever, where you're constantly giving money, because there's a stack of money there, if you're constantly financially giving, you'll also be financially drained. But whatever it's that you're giving, give it time, effort, money, you'll feel drained. You will feel unappreciated. Eventually it will lead to feeling anger, resentment, and could ultimately lead to blow up and people going separate ways. I do get, though, that some of you have actually had that. You had a partnership that like completely blow up and end because it was not in balance. And also with being balanced, what this also reminds us, we have color of like transformation and communication. We have a lot of blue communication. They're saying also when it comes to partnerships, alliances, that being reminded to have an open mind when listening to others, listening to their perspective, their thoughts, their view. So maybe for some of you, this partnership ended because your partner, they were not listening to you. They were very forceful, pushing their will, the way that they're going to have it, their way or the highway. And again, that puts it off balance. You see how there's like this tattoo, this marking on his arm? Years ago, when people were in slavery, there would be tattoos. They would be tattooed to mark them that, you know, this person belonged to this person, was there to serve them. I get for those of you that recently had a relationship or a business partnership fall apart, one of you felt indentured to the other. You felt like you served the other person. You even were made to feel like, for some of you, you literally felt like you were, I hate to use the term slave, but you felt like you were enslaved to them. Like they kept you stuck, they kept you shackled. They would rule with an iron fist. They would purposely keep you trapped, keep you stuck. And for some of you, you've tried to free yourself from this, and it wouldn't work. Repeatedly, see, you would be pulled back in. When you try to break free, constantly being pulled back in. So for some of you, that, you know, it was a love relationship. It's as though, I don't want you, but no one else will have you. So it's kind of like when they're saying for some of you that it's a love relationship, it would repeatedly fall apart, and they would pull you back in. Because again, like, I own you. No one else can have you. I don't love, because there's no love in this at all. So you weren't being pulled back in because I love you. I want to build something with you. I want to create a family. I'm so in love with you. That wasn't the foundation. It wasn't built on love. It was built on money. greed and control. So just when you would break free of this person, they would simply pull you back in. Sometimes they pull you back in because they didn't want you to be happy with anyone else, or pull you back in because they needed assistance, needed help, needed money. But it wasn't for the right reasons, and it completely fell apart. But it's completely fallen apart because it was meant to, and it is because it's going to bring you love. It's going to bring you, for those of you that this is a love relationship, it's going to bring you the person where it's built on the right foundation, where it's not a, so for those of you that this is love, this isn't or wasn't, because I get from those of you in this situation, you're not together anymore. But it was never a relationship. It wasn't founded on love. It may have been early on, but it hasn't been in, they're saying from some of you, years. It's just not been founded on love. It's been founded on, what can you do for me? Very surface, very meaningless. And for whoever that was the person doing the taking, a very selfish reason, only to serve their purposes. And for some, they're kind of a mean person, because for some, they're saying, they're saying some of you could be the person that was pulling them back in. But when you were, they would try to leave, trying to find happiness of heart, trying to find the things they want. You would just rein them back in, or they would rein you back in, not wanting you to be happy. Like, I'm not happy, you're not going to be happy. Now, for those of you that this is just a business partnership, same thing. It has fallen apart. It was totally off balance. You were giving all the time, nothing. It was one-sided. But whether business or personal, it was totally one-sided. And it ended with a blow-up, but it didn't end with like heartache. So for those of you that this was a love thing, it didn't end with heartache for you. Now, the recent past, you have material harvest. If you look, he's got his hands out. He has coins, fruit, bottles for wine sitting in front of him. It's a number 9. This is all about reaping what you sow. And it would be a pentacle. It's a pentacle card. So it's really all about finances and money, working hard for your harvest. This is a card that also talks about learning our lessons along the way, reaping what we sow, learning things that worked, things that did not work. It's also a 9, and 9 speaks of endings. So we're saying in the recent past, when this ended, it was meant to end because it was something that was to teach you a lesson. In order to, in the future, when you have a future partnership, alliance, or relationship, that you can have that be withstanding, so that it'll be prosperous, so that it'll be successful. It's also about, evaluating what is it that you want. What else is it that you want to achieve? You've reached this level of achievement. This is over. What is it that you want next? What are the things that you've learned from this? How have you grown? How have you evolved? How have you developed to, in the future, get the things that you desire? And so for some of you, maybe it was a business partnership you were investing in and then end up flopping. How are you going to create a business in the future and select a new partner? Someone that can be counted on, so that in the future you can have an abundant harvest. Now, what you are not aware of is number 4, rest and rejuvenation. You see, he's out by himself in the woods. This would be a sword card, and that's all about thoughts, communication, really going within so we can step into our power. And this is talking about, a period of rest, meditation, reflection, recuperation that's needed at the conclusion of a very emotional or mentally taxing experience or situation that's just totally drained you and drained everything you have. And 4 is, it speaks about your foundation. So it's time, so there was a faulty foundation. And so there has to be this rest and rejuvenation to heal your soul, to heal your heart, to move forward, to move on. But actually taking that space for that reflection, taking that time, because it's essential, it's needed, and it's long overdue. But by allowing yourself to take the time to look at the situation, look that it was built on a faulty foundation, really sit back and look at the problem situation for what it is, review, take the time to review your life, review it for clarity, review it for seeing things as they are, review it for seeing what are the things that you desire, what is it that you want, how do you make the changes moving forward in order to create a healthier, happier, mutually beneficial partnership, to build a solid foundation. You have to take that time. That's interesting. If you look, it's actually the same guy. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's the same guy. But you're not aware of it. So this partnership, and we'll keep calling it a partnership because for some of you, okay, for a number of you, it is love related, but it wasn't founded on love. It was just kind of a, you know, you help me, I'll help you. But they're saying even some of you, you were making the other person think that there was love. Again, a faulty foundation. Or they were making you think that there was love. Maybe you were in it because you thought, okay, this is meaningful. This is the love of my life. I'm going to build this. So they would play on that to pull you in, keep you stuck, keep you bringing this harvest in for them, when really all they wanted was the harvest and money. You're not aware that they are now taking the time to reflect and really decide what they want. And they're saying that you have to let go, because it wasn't built on the right foundation. It wasn't built on love. It wasn't balanced. There was a lot of hurt. Because they're saying you don't want to let this person go. You don't want to let him go. You can change the sex as we go through this, but I'm getting that it was a him. He was bringing in the harvest. He was bringing in the money. But he's now, so that they're saying what you're not aware of is he's now taking the time to reflect and realize that this isn't what he wants. This isn't this isn't a balanced partnership. This isn't a good partnership. And that's why it ended. Because I get for most of you that it already ended. But yet for some of you, you're trying to pull him back in. You're trying to have him remember, you know, it was good in the beginning. We can make this work out. But he's taking that time to make that decision. Now, as far as what's recommended for you and what you can do, we have Angel of Relaxation. And at the bottom, it says, let go of desired outcomes and you will get what you want. I'm going to read the book real quick. Okay. Everything will fall into place and become clear when it is meant to. So switch off and take it easy for a while. The Angel of Relaxation has appeared in your reading to help you relax by keeping your focus fixed on all it is you wish to happen. You are, in a way, preventing the natural flow of events to unfold. Surrender any project or concern to the angels and knowing that all is being taken care of. Focus on all you have achieved to date and on your many blessings. Take time to nurture and pamper yourself and start to do more of those things which nourish your soul instead of worrying about the future. By relaxing and letting go of desired outcomes, you create the space for the angels and the universe to give you that, to give you what you want. Trust. So yeah, for many of you, this is money related, because it's totally talking about money, income, being able to support, to take care of yourself. And some of you are trying to pull this person in because they are helping financially provide for you. And so you're grasping onto them like with a death grip, trying to get them to come back as your business partner or a person that you've romantically been involved with so that they can help you financially. But they're saying you don't have to worry about that. You'll be taken care of. This isn't a good relationship or business partnership, and it hasn't been for a very, very long time. They're saying for some of you this has been ugly for years, and they've been trying to separate the two of you. You're all about the foundation, money, finances, thinking logically. That's what you do. You don't need to worry about taking care of yourself financially, because they're saying to let him go or her go. Let them go, because your financial needs will be taken care of. And for those of you that this was a relationship, it was not founded on love. There's not love in it. You want love, but for those of you that are in that situation, that isn't why you stayed in the relationship with this person. You stayed in the relationship with this person because of money, finances, what they could bring you, what they could do for you. Coming out of a place of fear. I want to make sure I have a nice home, nice car, I want to be taken care of. And that this relationship did provide that, but that's all. And for those of you, it's a business partnership, that's fine. That's what a business partnership is for. But I get some of you, the business and the romantic were intermingled. Like maybe you're buying properties together. And I get some of it was just a romantic relationship, keeping that person so that they can help you, because there's this fear of not being able to take care of yourself, but you can take care of yourself. And they will help you with that. You don't need to stay in a relationship that makes you unhappy just for money. I mean, at some point we have to sit down and think about, like, what will we sell our souls for? And to sell our souls for money isn't worth it, because you're in a state of unhappiness. You've not been happy in this relationship for a long time. It's not rewarding. It's not filled with love. It's not filled with unconditional love. It's not even filled with love. It's all about monetary value, financial gain. And many of you do want love. They're saying that, it's not what this person, but you would like to have love. Right now, that's not your priority. Right now, your focus is work, making money, being financially secure. For some of you, that's been your priority for a very long time. It has not been love. But if and when, you have to be free of this to have that come in. And they're trying to have you be free of this because they're taking care of your finances. They really, really are. You do have to let go of this, though, because that's creating a block. They're saying explain how it's a block. Okay, so for those of you who say this is a relationship or a business partner that you're involved with, you keep pulling them back in because you're just so afraid that you're not going to be able to financially sustain and take care of yourself. Well, meanwhile, you keep wondering, okay, but it's totally unhappy. I get that there was a lot of contention, a lot of arguments in it. It was very ugly, particularly at the end. But you've held on to this no matter how ugly and off balance it was, because just terrified of no money. And what that has done, because it just made you unhappy, made them unhappy, it wasn't a good situation for anyone. But then meanwhile, you're trying to climb the ladder. For those of you that this was a love partnership, you're trying to climb the ladder at work. And you keep being passed over, or you're not getting the pay increases. And you're wondering, well, just why am I stuck? Why are things not happening? Why are things not moving forward? Why are things not opening up for me? It's because this was creating an energetic block, which can happen to any of us. If we have a relationship, a family issue, something going on at work, if we have something that has us very stressed, upset, worried, we will energetically bring ourselves down and create blocks in other areas. That was creating and has been creating blocks for you in other areas. They're trying to get you to just let go. Let go. There's something better. There's something better for you. Let go. And what they're saying is it's not even like it's better for you in a relationship, because I don't get a sense that it's founded on love. You will be taken care of financially. You will be provided for. You are so worried about looking out to take care of yourself financially. You have support. You have help. Ask the angels to help you. They're trying to help you. But holding on to someone and keeping them stuck and yourself stuck, it's not worth it. And it creates karma. We don't want any karma. We don't want karma. Now let's pull, okay, some clarifiers real quick. Okay, we'll start partnerships and alliances. Okay, so you have the Sospiri, the Letterato, and the Morte. So let me see if I can hold these so you guys can see these. So this is all about longings, nostalgia, memories, and then you have the Man of Letters, written communication, and then you have Morte, death, endings, completions. Yeah, so this is over. This partnership is over. But you're trying to pull him back in. And you guys can change the sex at any point. Or they're trying to pull you back in. Maybe you're this person. I mean, most of you are actually this person. Some of you could be the person writing the letters. But there's one that's longing, being very nostalgic, trying to bring the other person back in. There's only been communications between the two of you via, writing. And for some of you, it's as though like he's contemplating, how do I tell her that it's completely over and done. And for some, it's because he's still trying to decide what he wants. Because when you start reminiscing and going over memories and things that you shared in the past, especially if you had a romantic relationship together, you can get that person to start thinking, but it's still going to end up in death, completion, endings, because it's meant to be over. They're trying to move both of you to something better. Move you forward. Get you both unstuck. You're both totally stuck. They're trying to get both of you freed. Now, let's see material harvest. Actually, we'll do this. Can you see him? Okay, cool. Alley. Okay, Dilorante, Vedovo, and Allegories al Cuore. So this is all about stupid actions, stupid behaviors. Looks like they're like drunk and partying and stumbling around. And then we have the widower, lonely, sad man who's bound to his past. And then we have happiness of the heart. So this card again, it's recent past. So some of you in the past there were some behaviors, some things that caused it to blow up and end. And it did not end well. But he's trying to get past that now. He's trying to move on to happiness of the heart. But it's interesting because they're saying that she's trying to pull him back in. And whatever your role is, if you're him or her, go ahead and flop it. I'm going to stick with male, female, so that we can keep it straight, because they're saying that there's going to be someone else. Okay, this is a third party for some of you. So I'm going to stick with him, her. You can switch it accordingly. But what I'm getting is, for some of you, this is your ex or ex-business partner, ex-lover. They've left. It ended. It was very, very ugly. They ended. They're still having a hard time getting over it, because this is a relationship, partnership that lasted for a very long time. They're wanting to move on and find happiness of the heart. Some of them have actually found the person, but they're not. They found the person that will make their heart happy, that is founded on love. They're not with them yet. And then also for some of you, you're reminiscing, nostalgia, trying to get them to think back on, okay, remember how amazing that was. Or, you know, they're doing that to you. But remember how amazing it was, how great it was. Okay. So we're going to pull a second on top. Yeah, that's exactly what it's saying. So you have the bear, and this is all about, I don't hold these up that well, 3. This is all about an authoritative figure, someone who, you know, pushes what they want. They always want to be in control. They're exerting their power on the other, their control on the other. And then we have the death, the ending. But then we have lilies. And lilies, they can represent rebirth, eternal love, new beginnings, new life. Okay, so not challenging. They're being pretty clear. There's just a lot of detail for you guys. Okay, so in the past, this was a relationship where, again, you know, off balance. One of the two was in complete control, was very aggressive, very controlling, exerting their power on the other person. And that other person, for some, just started to drink. But for some, they're saying that they totally left. They took off. They couldn't take that anymore, and they left. And that caused an ending. But now at the ending, he's looking back thinking, you know, because so much was invested. And still kind of stuck to that, still trying to get over that. But he is trying to move forward. He is trying to have a new life, a new beginning. He is trying to find love. He is trying to find eternal love, but keeps being pulled back. And for some, they're saying that you pull him back with sex. That's, if you look at it, it looks kind of like some female anatomy. So for some of you to keep, you know, because in the beginning they were saying how the one person keeps pulling the other person back in. The way the one person keeps pulling the other person back in is sex. So maybe it's S&M, dirty sex. But that's the way that, you know, she or he has control over this person. That's interesting. See how there's a gold band? There's a gold band on her arm. And there's a gold band on her arm. Money, power. She's trying to have power over someone, control, shackle them. Mama bear. So some, it's a female trying to pull the other person back in and using her feminine power to lure him back in. All for money, finances. Okay, that's the other thing I'm saying about the gold. Okay, so the gold band, all for money, all for riches, finery, things to wear. Okay. Let's get these back in order. It is so humid here in Ohio. Everything's sticking. Okay, now rest and rejuvenate. And this is what you are unaware of. We have melancholia, militare, and domestico. Okay, I hope you guys can see that. This is all about melancholy, sadness, depression, heartache. And then we have a military, a soldier. So maybe Those of you, okay, so again, this is something that you're unaware of. So maybe he is in the military and he's thinking, coming up with a plan. But again, for most of you, you know, military members, they are very strategic. They think things through thoroughly. They devise a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, because they, come hell or high water, are going to have success. They will not be stopped from having success. They're going to scale that. They're going to conquer. And then you have the domestico. And this is the servant. This is the helper, employee, collaborator. Okay. If you look at these, this is one woman. This is the same woman. You know, they were saying that there's a third party. So this is over, and he has someone else. There is a spiritual connection, a spiritual bond. There's unconditional love. And he's, okay, because they're saying that this is what you're unaware of. So what you're unaware of is that he has gone into this meditation state. So he had things fall apart with her as well, and you, because he's not with either of you right now. He's on his own. He's in a hermit stage. He's doing some evaluating, trying to decide what he wants. He is realizing where he would find his joy, his happiness of the heart. Who will bring his heart joy, happiness, love, unconditional love. And he's during this time evaluating, okay, how do I get her back? Because I get that this is a third party. He knows her. There's already been heartbreak with her. And so he's contemplating, okay, what do I do to get her back? How do I get her back? Because he wants to go into a partnership with her. You know, they were saying, tattooed, somebody that's there to sort of, he's ready to change his alliance. But that's not a bad thing for those that this is love related. And they were saying for some of you, this is business. But for most of you, this is a love situation. You don't want to be in a love situation that's just founded on money, because that's not love. That's empty. That's empty. We all want love. We all want unconditional love. And that's what he's now trying to get. He's wanting to change his alliances. No. Okay. And last angel of relaxation. So we have La Costanza, L'Amante, and Belvedere. So we have constant perseverance, standing firm. We have the male lover. It's also requited. It speaks of requited love. You know, requited love. They're both in love. It's mutually beneficial. It's not off balance. And then we have the Belvedere, and that is all about foresight. It is, you know, the card in its straight up meaning is lookout. And it's, you know, foresightedness, great ambitions, looking out for ourselves. He's in love with her. He's looking back at her. And she's the same person here too. She's the same person. So you have to let go. So if you're the female, and I get for most of you, you are, you have to let him go. You have to let him go. Your finances are taken care of. You don't need to worry about money. Because this is, so for those of you that you're a female and you have this, maybe very early on when the relationship started, there was love. There was love. It made you happy. But there's not. This is a card that talks about reminiscing, nostalgia, looking back at how things were. Whereas there's not real, like, there's not heartbreak. There's no insignia of like death, sorrow, heartache, because the love was not there, and it hasn't been for a while. Whereas there's love here. This is a card that speaks all about sorrow, depression, heartache, heartbreak, and she's in all of those. He's trying to find love. And that's going to free you up to find true love as well, they're saying. For those of you that are the woman. So for those of you that are the woman, He's in love with someone else. He's realized this. It's a very spiritual connection. So for some, it's a soulmate, a twin flame. It's a divine love. But you're trying to pull him back in. You know how they were saying this is all about, what they're recommending you do is to let go. Because you're trying to pull him back in to take care of yourself. You're looking out for yourself. But by letting go, you will be able to take care of yourself. So, because they're saying your biggest concern is money. That's what you're worried about. You're holding on and pulling this person back in for money. But what that's doing, that's blocking you from finding true love. Because there's no true love here. But that is blocking you from true love. So in order for them to bring this in for you at some point, you have to let this person go. But the big thing is knowing and trusting that you are taken care of financially, because you are. They're taking care of you. They're saying you have to let go. What? Okay. They want me to pull 3 cards for here and there as well. Okay. I think you guys have a lot of worry about money, which is why they're wanting to go into some real depth to let you know you're really okay. You really are taken care of financially. You really are. Now, as far as what you're unaware of, the rest in rejuvenation. We have a relationship that was stolen. You have mice. Mice steal things. They eat away at the things we value. We'll go in and find our cake's been munched on. It really makes us mad. Then you have the birds. And birds are all about verbal communication. They're all about communication, but particularly verbal. Speaking to someone, speaking up, speaking your truth. So he had a relationship fall apart with someone, and it was stolen. It was taken away quickly. But he's putting together a plan to communicate with her and communicate the truth. And then we have the Mystico with the cross. And the cross sometimes can represent, cross to bear, heavy burdens. He has had heavy burdens in his life. For some, they're saying that he stayed in this relationship, union, partnership to help. But it was heavy. It was not. It was more out of feeling as though he owed. But he's putting that cross down. The other message that they're saying is that he's realizing in the soul searching that she is his divine partner, his divine love partner, because that they're saying for these two, what you're not aware of is that there is someone else that is his divine counterpart. That is his, for some it's his twin flame. It really is his other half. He's moving to go be with his other half, someone that he's destined to be with. The good news about that is that will open you up to find divine love. And there was one other sign that had a very similar situation, something very, very similar, where they're well, slightly different. But the person that they were romantically involved with was leaving and had left to go be with a divine partner. Okay, last, and let's get this wrapped up for you. So on these 3, okay, yes. So we have the Tower. Now, in traditional tarot, this doesn't have the same meaning as traditional tarot tower. This is a tower that, the little Normand speaks about a structure, something that's protected, something that offers protection. It's a symbol of really true protection, divine protection. Also can speak of isolation. Okay. So, put these here where you guys can see these all so we can get this wrapped up. Then we have heart, love, emotion, unconditional love. Swans mate for life. And then we have the choice, the decision, trying to decide between 2. I hope. Okay, yeah, you guys can see those. And then we have the Belvedere, which is the same person. Which for some, it's you. Now there may be some of you where you're the guy. I'm getting for most, this is you. You're really looking out for yourself, trying to take care of yourself. So you're trying to make him choose between you and her. But this is a divine love. This is a love that's watched over by God. And for those of you in this situation, this isn't the love that you desire. This isn't the love that you want. It hasn't been. It may have been for some of you in the beginning, like years ago, because I get for some of you it could have been years. I don't know, 20 years, something. But it's not been like that for years. It serves its purpose. You know, sometimes we'll have relationships and they're just to help us learn and grow. And that's what they were saying with this card 9, just a lesson to learn and grow. You want, when you are ready for love. Right now, you're not ready for love. That's not why you've kept this person around. It's not for love. It's for making sure you're provided for. You're looking out for yourself. You're watching out for yourself. When you are ready for love, this is the type of love that you want. You want an unconditional love. You want someone who feels for you as you feel for them. It's not fair for you or that person to give them an ultimatum, to make them choose. And for some of you, you're using control, you're using sexual tactics, you're using nostalgia, getting them to reminisce. But you're not aware that they're starting to see the truth of it. That's why they've pulled away. That's why they were saying hermit. They're saying that he's pulled away, he's become the hermit, to think about the situation, to make his decision. And when we're trying to make a decision about love, you should always go with love. You should always go with unconditional love. And that is why they're trying to get you to just let go. Just let go. You're trying to look at, make sure your finances are taken care of, and they're taking care of you financially. They really, really are. And they're saying they would like to help take care of you in other areas as well. They would like to, at some point when you're ready, bring you this divine love as well. You're not there yet, but when you are and you want that, they will bring that to you. But they're trying to get you to just free this person up and free yourself up. It's run its course. It's served its purpose. It's helped you both grow and learn the different lessons and things that you were supposed to learn to help you move forward. And you really, really, really do not have anything to worry about. Your lifestyle, because I get for some of you, you have a certain level of, you know, livelihood, lifestyle. And even though you've known this person for a long time, it's like you're not married or you won't get alimony or something. So you're concerned that, you know, am I going to be able to sustain this lifestyle that I'm accustomed to? But you won't have any problems with that. Just trust. You're surrounded by an entire team of angels. They're there to help you. Now, the key thing to remember is they can't help you unless you ask them to help you. So do that, because they'll sit and they'll face palm all day long thinking, man, if only she or he would ask for some help, we could jump in and help him. Because the beautiful thing about Earth, we have free will. They will not impose on your free will unless it's life or death. So ask for their help. Ask for them to help you. Ask them to give you signs. Ask them to give you confirmation that, okay, without this assistance, without this partnership, without this business partner, but I get most of you, it is love. It's a person that, it was a romantic relationship early on, you held on to it to be taken care of. You don't have anything to worry about. You can let them go. It's best for you, it's best for them. They're being guided to something better, and you are being guided to something better as well. You don't know, because I get for many of you, you do want love. It's really not your focus right now. It's really not. But you do want that deep love. You want a deep connection. You want requited love. You want unconditional love. They will bring you that when the time is right, but it's not with this person. It's funny that they were talking about like being indentured to, being owned by. This person does belong to someone else. They are truly at a soul level this other person's other half. So for some of this they really are a twin flame. And that's they're meant to be. And you will, at some point when the time is right, you are going to meet a divine love partner as well. But don't worry about money. They really do have you. They've got you taken care of. So hopefully that helped, filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings.